I see a lot of people when they go to the auction or they go to check a vehicle that they are interested to buy. They use OBD2 scanners. These some of them. I'm sure there are different ones on the market, but these the one most likely I've seen. They use different name, different brand. These usually they check the limited for their test. They check the OBD2 system. Some of them they do ABS, they do airbags. It depends which one you buy and how much you spend. Today I'm gonna focus on these little ones. Of course, I have the big ones, those $3,000 or $4,000 one, and I have the IAM 608. Also, this is a couple $1,000 one. I have also other ones. I use. I can use this one. This is made for TBMS. It also does diagnostic. This one too. These mostly enhanced scanners. I have this, and I have this. So there are different ones that everyone can use. It's a choice you can make. I'm not gonna discuss which one is which and which one is better. That's not what the video about today. These are different scanners. The more you spend, of course, the more you get information you're gonna get. These scanners, like this one, I have these older ones, but I also have these more advanced one. I have this one too. This one you could check almost every single module on the vehicle that exists. But when the car goes to DMV, usually they don't use these kind of scanners and they don't check everything on your car. All their concern is the emission. So these very much what we're gonna use today, and I'm gonna show you what you need to look for when you inspect a car. And again, I'm just gonna make this a disclaimer. This is very much this video for educational and entertainment purposes only. I do have an experience in this, but however, I'm gonna show you how I do it and what I look for, and that might be different than what other people do. I mean, some of them I know they use it just to look for a check engine light, but that's not all the case. If you go to an auction or if you go check a car, checking the check engine light doesn't do any good all the time, because the person before you or the one who's selling the car, he might erase the codes before you get there, or they keep erasing the codes or disconnect the battery. For older cars, if you disconnect the battery, the code disappears. And the newer cars, it doesn't disappear, it stays there even if you disconnect the battery. And some older cars, pre-1996 or whatever, you could, if you disconnect the battery, nothing shows, nothing stored in the memory. So, but if you do this for a newer car, even if you disconnect the battery, it still will show that the system either stored that code somewhere in the OBD2 system, somewhere in the memory, or I'll show it to you. I'm gonna explain on a sheet right now. It's showing you under inspection and maintenance, and why you need to do a drive cycle, and what the ECU will do, and how the ECU behave around all this. Let's get to explain some of this stuff. We're not gonna use these scanners. We're just gonna use these, and I'm gonna show you here on the sheet. There is something called inspection and maintenance, and or you could name it readiness mode. All right, and that requires a drive cycle. So readiness mode is what you really need to look at, not just a check engine light. Check engine light, it just stores a code that tells you if there is a code or not there, especially if it has to do with the engine or the transmission. Sometimes it depends on the car, it depends on the unit, but this is general information. It's just most of the cars they're gonna give you the same result, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. And when you go to DMV for inspection, they only check OBD2 system. They don't go into enhance. Most of the time they don't go, because if you go, I'm gonna show you some example on this car. If you go into enhance, it will show different than what the OBD2 showing you sometimes. Okay, and I have a car here that it does this. It shows something and OBD2 doesn't show it. The code is stored in different area, and it sometimes it goes blind on certain area, it focus on the other area. If it affects the emission, very much all the scanners and all the ECUs, they do show a code and they do store it. So now, as far as emission inspection maintenance or readiness mode, that means the computer have to go through various check before it gives you everything ready. Sometimes you go to the MV and they tell you the car is not ready. Even the inspector asks you to go drive the car because they see on the computer says not ready. That means it needs to be, the car needs to be driven. Some cars 50 miles, sometimes 100 miles. It depends. They call this a drive cycle. So in a drive cycle, your car goes through different modes, starting the car goes into different driving condition. For example, here the drive cycle, ACU will test all computer, sensor, relays, actuators, etc. Okay, it does test on a cold start. Sometimes it takes 8 minutes, sometimes it takes 5 minutes. It depends on the car. It check it also on idle. It check it also on acceleration, cruising, deceleration. So all this, the computer monitors all the stuff that your engine or your computer or your transmission is doing and how it behaves. And it keeps watching this stuff, what's going on. And this is very much, they call it, some of them goes under non-continuous monitors, and some of it goes under continuous monitors. Continuous monitors means misfire, fuel system, all sensor actuators monitoring. And most of the time, if you have one of these, almost immediately you get check engine light. Sometimes it goes to a different mode. It tells you it's bending code. That means it saw it once, but the computer still is not sure whether this is a hard code or soft code. So if it's a soft code, keep saying bending. Once it becomes hard, it happened like 3 times, then it says, yeah, this is something like we need to pay attention to, like misfire. You get code 300 or 301, one of those are multiple misfire or whatever misfire you're gonna get. If it's on one cylinder, you're gonna get 300, 101 or 302, whatever. That's if cylinder number 1 and 2. That's not what I'm gonna discuss right now, but just briefly, that's what it is. A fuel system, fuel delivery, all the stuff, actuators and sensors. It keeps checking this all the time. It constantly, as you drive, the car is running. Computer keep watching this stuff because this is very important for the engine to start to drive or to run smooth. Okay, so in the non-continuous memories like catalyst, heated catalyst, evaporator system, the secondary air, if you have secondary air like Mercedes and BMW and those cars, oxygen sensor, a heated oxygen sensor, exhaust gas recirculation, which is the EGR, and some they incorporate the air conditioning in it, some cars. All right, so this is, the computer does not watch these all the time, but like for instance the evap, it watch it when you start the vehicle. Every time you start the car, it does an evap test in the morning. All right, like if your cab is loose or it's leaking, it might show you evap. Or if they have a small leak or a big leak, it usually tells you in this area what's going on. However, this is general information on non-continuous monitors. So keep in mind, in the motor vehicle, I'm talking about New Jersey right now. Every state varies, but this is general very much. From 96 to 2000, the state allows you to have 2 not ready inspection maintenance in the system. If it's not in the readiness, it's only missing 2 or 2 not ready. Most of the time they will pass if it's 96 to 2000. Now from 2001 and up, it allowed only 1 not ready, and usually they will like to see those not ready. It has nothing to do, like again, depends on a state, depends on a year, make and model. But if it's not has to do with the catalyst or the oxygen sensor, usually yes or no. I mean, it depends. But generally speaking, with 1 not ready, you might pass inspection if it's 2001 and up. 96 to 2000, they allow 2 not ready. I'm gonna show you this on a vehicle right now once I connect the scanner. So again, so all this, it will be ready, and if there is no issue, there is no sensor has a problem, no evap issue, no oxygen sensor issue, and none of these, usually the drive cycle, it achieves its check, and it's like an audit. It goes audit all these sensors, make sure all of them doing their job, and that's what the drive cycle does. This is within the drive cycle. These like soldiers, or like you know, somebody's going and auditing your system, is telling the computer or telling the OBD2 system, telling them this all good, there's no check engine light, and then it will say ready, 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 ready for all this stuff. It will check ready, or it's going to say okay next to it, as we're going to show on the car. So again, what the computer is going to test, and it varies from car to car. Okay, so like I said, it's going to do idle test, a cold start, acceleration, cruise, deceleration. It's gonna count how many time the ignition cycle, how many time you does this on, off. It depends on the car again, but usually that's what it does. When you start the car, did you start it cold, did you start it hot, how many time you started. Each drive cycle has a different setup. Like if you look at Hyundai, Honda, BMW, every car has, you know, but they are usually the same. Okay, they look for something, and they want to make sure, depends how many sensors they have, they will tell you, yes, this is pass, we're moving forward, that's it, everything is ready. So when you hook up the scanner, this is very important beside the check engine light. This is what you need to verify, no lights, and it has to be ready. If these two together, okay, the car most of the time is going to pass inspection. Okay, there are some exception, but it's very rare. This is 100% what it is, and that's what the computer look for, and that's what the state inspection look for when they check any car. Okay, but so again, this is just a general information here. I'm just showing you how the ECU think toward all these sensors. We're gonna go to our car right now and check it, see if it passes and if it's ready and if it has any check engine light. I'm gonna do it with 2 different modes. Let's go to the car and check it. Okay, I'm gonna start with this little one here. I'm gonna connect it to the OBD2 port on the vehicle. It's down here. Okay, and I'm gonna turn the ignition on, and we're gonna start. Again, every scanner has a different way to how to access it, but generally all of them very much the same, but just have to get used to what scanner you have. So let's go now, do test. I'm not gonna recommend any scanner to buy. It's your choice. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna tell you to prefer. This one here, as you can see, it gives me a check mark. That means it went through everything. That means inspection and maintenance, it is ready, and there is no code. All right. However, I'm gonna show you something now a little bit tricky. So now you could check the engine, and you could check on this particular scanner, you could see even the automatic transmission. We're not gonna go into the automatic transmission. Usually in the OBD2 system, it stores all the codes. But let's go and now go to the engine. And as you can see here, read codes, erase codes. I don't wanna do any of these stuff. Watch here. This says emission, inspection, and maintenance readiness. We need to look at this. So if I'm going to inspect a car, if the person who's selling the car did something to it, or changed the battery, or disconnect the battery into that time period and didn't go through the drive cycle, is gonna show here. And that sometimes it makes me a little bit worried. I would love to see, for you guys who are buying cars, I love to see this is ready. Okay, this is one thing to check. Of course, the other thing to check, but this is what I'm talking about right now. So this is beside check engine light. Of course, if you have a check engine light, you're gonna have an issue. But let's say there is no check engine light, and also one thing one point I have to make sure the check engine light on the dash, it turns on when you put the ignition on. When you turn before starting the car, when we put the ignition on, make sure you see the check engine light. Let me show you one thing here. I have to see this check engine light mark has to show. I've seen issues before. I've seen people who they do something crazy, tampering. I don't like that. Or at one time I bought car in a bus, and I found out there is a black tape in the back behind this. That drove me crazy. I mean, I did find it at the end. I found the tape and I fixed the vehicle. It was an oxygen sensor issue, which is, I don't know what that was, like kind of an idiot act. Just change oxygen sensor and get it done. I don't know who did this, who did what. This is a long time. It's like maybe 7-8 years ago it happened. At one time I missed to look at this, but again, I'm just gonna remind you, make sure this light goes on when the ignition is on, and when you start the car, it's supposed to go away. Let's go back to work. So again, now here, click on this emission inspection maintenance, and you can see here it asks me two things: focus on the sense diagnostics trouble codes cleared. That's what I want to focus on. I don't care about the other one, but just go here. And now let's see. Okay, it says the light is off. Okay, and now it says all these things, all these check. It shows okay. Okay, that's what you're going to see. All of them okay. Catalyst okay. Heated cat, okay, and this car is just not available, so that means I don't care about it. It's not there. The valve system is okay. The air conditioning on this particular video, they don't care about it. The oxygen sensor here is okay. The heated oxygen sensor is okay. So as you see, EGR exhaust gas circulation is okay. So as you see, it's all the inspection was completely done in the drive cycle on this car. So that means it after the code was reset, the car was driven, it went through the drive cycle, and everything was okay. That's what I focus on. I want to make sure. So the car at least was driven 50 to 100 miles before I came to look at it. So with that being said, that means the computer did see everything, and it did okay everything to me. Okay, there are some stuff. It can be crazy if somebody messed with this vehicle, or if they deleted something in the system, or they did tune or something. They have to be. That's another story. That's something else. But generally speaking, if everything looks good, that's what it looks good. And so exit the screen and exit again. Exit. All right. So I go to the previous menu. Let's go here. All right, engine again. Read codes is gonna say there's no codes. Okay, so there is no code stores in the module right now, because what this particular scanner did right now, it did check in the OBD2. It did not do enhanced test. Enhanced test, it shows you more stuff, but 99% the motor vehicle or the inspection, the state inspection, they look for this. Okay. They don't care about other stuff. They don't care about the ABS. They don't care about the airbag. It depends, like I said, from state to state, it varies. If they do emission, this is what the emission for them means. Okay. So this car, with this situation, with this scenario here, it's gonna pass inspection. I'm gonna connect the other scanner. Okay, let's get out of this. Again, like I said, the other scanners I have, it shows you more than just the ECU. Okay, and this one it shows you the automatic transmission, but on this car, the automatic transmission and the ECU is the same computer. It does not have separate computer for the transmission. So some cars they do, like Mazda, and some cars they do have transmission computer, and they have engine computer. So that's something else. But generally speaking, there are other computers. There are seat computers. There are airbag computers, ABS computers. There are light computers. Depends on the car. There are power steering computer. There are ADAS, if it has ADAS, you name it. I mean, I can't name every single one of them, but there's like some cars they have sometimes 40 modules in them, like those European cars, crazy modules. So you're not gonna be able to see everything in this little one. This is only related for a quick check, for you to see, just to get an idea what this car about, what you're buying, what you're looking at. And I don't know if those guys, I've seen them in the auction because I used to go to auctions. I mean, I'm a previously used car dealer too. So I don't know if they do check this, or they only look for a check engine light. I mean, where are stories? I know there's some guys walk in, they delete the codes, and once they delete the codes, the inspection maintenance very much gone. So you're gonna have nothing ready. So I don't know what code was stored on that car at that time. I would love to see it. All right, if it's deleted, I'm a little bit suspicious. I don't know if somebody did it before just to do something, or the owner or the seller did something to do this. I have no idea. I don't want to go too deep into this. However, I'm just concerned about what I'm looking for myself when I look at the car. I'm coming to buy this car. I look at this stuff. Okay, gives me an idea. Again, but that doesn't mean the car runs good. You know, there could be has sometimes have engine noise, have a smoke. It does not show. Many times does not show in these. Okay, engine is smoking, or it has some issues, or it has leak, oil leak, transmission shift. Not all the car shows. Some of them they do, but most of them they don't. If the older the car, the less you're gonna see on this system. Let's connect the other scanner. Turn the ignition off. Okay, make sure you don't delete anything when you do this. Okay, let's connect the other scanner. There's so many scanners in the market. I mean, you could try them, sell them on Amazon, sell them everywhere. I don't know. Just, it is what it is. So now let's do this here. Turn the ignition on. Gonna show you little things here. So the ignition is on. The check engine light is on right now because the ignition only is on. So I'm gonna go enter. So here is one thing I'm gonna show you. And didn't show. So now we see it says 2011 Impala. However, that means the scanner went and checked the VIN and it knew exactly what kind of car is this. Did not go in the OBD2 direct. It just go into the Impala. It's just the difference in this. So I could go here, or I could go to OBD. Let me go to here. I'm gonna show you what's gonna happen here. So now I was checking. So here it says inspection, maintenance, monitor tests are complete. It tells me it is complete. Let's go see what it is. Okay, this is the overall screen, but you could read here. It says ABS. This scanner has ABS test too. It says no code on ABS. The transmission control module. It says no code on the TCM, and the engine control module. It says there's one code. However, it says in the OBD2 or OBD, it says there's no codes. That's what I was trying to tell you in the beginning. Okay, so usually in the inspection they just look at that last one. They don't see this one because this has something else to do. It has nothing to do. Usually it does not affect the emission. That's why it's not even there. Sometimes it is based on the car. All right, I cannot explain everything, single things in detail, because my focus today to explain to you what's IM means in inspection, maintenance, monitors, and what to look for when you go use these monitors. Again, there are some exception here. It depends on the car. All right, but this is general information. This is just for education, for you to understand what exactly going on when you do this, or when you see somebody doing this, what I'm looking for. All right, so now let's go enter. As you can see here, it's giving me a code. All right, it says 0523 engine oil pressure sensor circuit higher voltage. Whatever that reason, I'm not gonna get into details in this, but that's not gonna show in state inspection, okay? Because it's into different area in the computer. It's not in what they're interested in right now. All right. So now I'm gonna go into data stream, review data. Okay, let's go review. I'm gonna go review data and see what's in it here. Okay, the first one, it tells me the inspection and monitors. I'm gonna go into this. All right. Since diagnostic trouble codes cleared, yes. All right. And as you can see here, it went through all this stuff into misfire, a fuel system monitor, um, complete components or combustion components, catalyst monitors. I'm not wearing my glasses. Okay, heated catalyst, evap, secondary air conditioning, oxygen sensor. As you can see here, wherever it says okay or it says not applicable or it's not available, that means it's not for this car. But you should see all of them. Okay, it did go through the monitor system. It did check it, all of it, and it shows nothing except that code. But that code is not into that system. So do I care about it at this moment? No, I don't. Because I'm going to show you something else now. Let's get out of the screen. Get out. And let me get out of here. Okay. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to show you something here. Okay, so vehicle diagnostic. I'm going to go into the OBD only. Here. I'm going to check this. Check it through this. Same thing I did with the other one. Because this one offered different interface than the other one. So let me show you here. So let's check it this way. Okay. Okay, again it says inspection, maintenance, monitor, tests are complete. Gotta press enter. Communicating with the vehicle. Watch this here. What it says here, it says no code. Okay, so this car is gonna pass inspection, no problem. All right. So no codes found. That's it. There's no code found. No code found. Now, if you want to dig deeper, you could dig deeper. It depends on the scanner you use, and it depends how much this thing, the protocol it's used to communicate with this vehicle and pull how much information you want to pull. The more expensive the scanner, the more you can see here. Okay. So now I'm done here. That's it. So again, when you look at data, data stream. Okay, I'm gonna show you with this review data. Here, the monitor. That's the most important thing you need to look at. So once you see this, okay, what I'm trying to tell you, this what it means. This car, it did it through the drive cycle. It did not see any problem. It been driven maybe 50 miles, 100 miles, 200 miles. So now there are other stuff that you can use, but maybe that's not your specialty. Professional shop, they use something to dig deeper into like live data, or they go into like freeze data. Freeze data is gonna show you different things, especially if there's code stored. Then it's gonna bring it up, and it's gonna tell the technician when it was stored, what temperature was the engine, how fast you were going, in what position the gear, all this stuff. We're not gonna get into this. So I hope I was clear on what the message was in this video. All right. So if you use this scanner, make sure you look at this inspection maintenance thing. If this thing is not ready, because you might have no codes and this is not ready. Okay, so if you have no code and this is not ready, we have a problem. We want to know why it's not ready. All right, so I need to drive this car 50 miles, 70 miles, 100 miles, sometimes 200 miles, it depends, to make sure it went through the check, because the computer does its own check. That's why it gives you check engine light, because but if you delete everything, you delete everything. All right, so I hope this was clear picture on using those smaller scanners to understand what you need to look at. Of course, a lot of other information, but just not for another video. But this is what it is for this video right now. All right, so this is very much what's the drive cycle, what's the inspection and maintenance, and what's check engine light, and how they relate to each other. Any question, put it in a comment. I try to answer as much questions as you have, and if you have any suggestion, if you have any things that you want to comment on this video, please let me know. Let's have a healthy conversation. Let's have a healthy discussion, so everybody benefit from each other. I'm giving you this information free of charge, so you can, could add your knowledge, or you probably already know this information and might, just surface it a little bit. This is what we have as far as the smallest scanner and what you need to look for And I hope you just give me a thumb up, share, like, whatever you feel about this video. Thank you for watching.